everyone, welcome back to the channel and my next smartwatch review. Today we have the Zeblaze Vibe 7 Pro. Now if you've not seen my reviews before, then you don't know. I'm going to open this and show you what comes out of the box and then charge it up and then go wear it for about a week and come back with my full, fair, and honest review. You can check out all my smartwatch and fitness tracker reviews on that playlist on my YouTube channel. Okay, so right here, the film on the face says it's going to be an app called Fit Cloud Pro app. You get the watch body itself, you get the wristband, you get the charging cable, which will be the ever familiar magnetic charging cable that will snap on the back. And you have a user manual, and this actually looks like a really nice manual. Okay, the lettering is very small, but it's a substantial, nice manual. This looks like it will be fairly decent on the wrist in terms of looks. It's a military style watch. It has voice calling via Bluetooth, low energy when tethered with your phone. It's got a 1.43 inch AMOLED display featuring 466 by 466 pixels. This will withstand extreme temperatures from -40°C to 55°C, and it supports an always-on mode and does SpO2 blood oxygen saturation. That's SpO2. It will do heart rate. It's got 100+ sports modes, and the waterproofness of this thing is amazing at an IP69K, which means it's waterproof down to 3 atmospheres of pressure. I'm going to go charge it up, wear it for a week or so, and come back with my full, fair, and honest review. Okay, so we're back after, a little bit more than a week of wearing this watch. It's got a big, beautiful display, and I'm just going to start from the start. If we swipe down and get into the settings, here you have your brightness display. And for the purposes of this review, I have it on the brightest, but as I've been wearing it, I've had it on the second dimmest, just to save battery life. Okay, we go back. There are your settings for the QR code to download the app. This is one of the rare watches where you can actually set the time of the watch right here. The most popular question on all my smartwatch reviews on YouTube is, how do I set the time? In most cases, the answer is sync it with your phone. It gets the time from your phone. But here, you can actually set the time right on the watch. So that's kind of unique. And then you have some other settings here. Your Bluetooth, some information. It's going to tell you the Vibe 7 Pro. Here's a flashlight feature in case you're in darkness and want to light up all the pixels on the watch. There's a do not disturb mode, and there is, you can put it on power saving mode. And those are the basics that's going around the dial here. If we swipe up, we get into our text messages. When tethered via Bluetooth with your phone, you will get text messages. That works fine, works very fine. As a matter of fact, you get a little vibration when you get a new text. And from swiping from right to left, here is your status update in terms of steps, kilocalorie burn, and estimated miles walked. Your weather, I'll talk about this when we go into the app, but this is a disappointment. It does not store the weather in the watch. You can pull in the weather from your phone when tethered via Bluetooth, but it does not save that information. So I think that's a big downfall of this watch, actually, is it doesn't keep the weather in here. You have to be tethered to get that. Here's your heart rate in beats per minute. There is your sleep analysis for the night before. And here are your sports modes. Lots and lots of sports modes in here. This I like, and I like the looks of the watch. I like the nice, big, easy-to-read display. Oh, I didn't want to start that. So your sports modes, and then it kind of gets you can add some other screens if you so like. It can control the music on your phone, again, when tethered via Bluetooth. Swipe from left to right, you get into your various settings. Here's where you can get into the phone. When tethered via Bluetooth, you can use this smartwatch as a phone. It's got a speaker and microphone in it. That works well. I've tested it. Your call records, voice assistant. Here's your data. That's that progress screen. You can get in. Here's your workout modes. If you want to start a sport, here are your workout records. If you want to see sports you've done and already recorded. And I'll dig deeper in the app. There's your heart rate, there's your sleep, Here's your blood oxygen saturation, SpO2. I let this go in real time so you can see how long one of these measurements takes. Based on what I do with my pulse oximeter that I use off screen here, these measurements are very accurate. I'm happy with them, no complaints. I think SpO2 in this watch is good. So there we go. It came back with 99% blood oxygen saturation, and it says that's good. And I think, let's see, heart rate, sleep, blood oxygen saturation, there's your messages, there's that weather. Again, you can do female cycle tracking, control the music on your phone, some breath training. It's got a stopwatch and a countdown timer, and you can set various alarms in here. And there's where you would set the date and time. It's got a find your phone feature and settings. And I wish I could find the one where I could keep the display on. Is this it? Yeah, screen time. Let's bump that up for the purposes of this review so it's not constantly dimming. Now, somewhere in here also, as advertised, it's got an always on display option. I have not been able to find that. I just haven't. And maybe we can search for it together here, folks, but it should be in settings, it should be in display, watch faces, brightness, screen time. There it is, always on display. Let's go with analog clock. All right, so now when this baby times out, and you know what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to go back into settings and we're gonna have to bump that screen time down. Let's go back to 5 seconds. All right. And now when this times out, we will see what that always on display looks like. There we go. There's the analog watch. It's a little bit hard to see with my studio lighting here, but there's your always on display. All right, now that I found it, it would, you know, it is good to see that. Let's go to digital and see what that one looks like, all right? And I apologize I didn't find this in advance, folks, but, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. There is the digital, always on display. All right. So, honestly, I would turn that off anyways because I like to save battery life. I don't even use the lift your wrist feature because I like to save battery life. I like to press it and just, you know, only press it and turn it on when I want to see the time. So that's pretty much everything. Swiping each way, swipe down, get to the settings, swipe up, you get to your messages. You have your battery life here in the middle with the current time. Let's go look at the app and I'll come back with my final thoughts. The app here is called Fit Cloud Pro, and I'll have to say I am not at all a fan of this particular app. You get your sleep tracking here. You can look back through the weeks and the months. It gives you your amount of time engaged in deep sleep, light sleep, and your times awake. That's okay. It gives you your heart rate. It gives you your blood oxygen saturation measurements that you have to take manually. It does not automatically take these in the background. I wish this watch did that. Many others do, but I get it. This is sort of a budget watch, and that is it on the main screen. Bare bones app, folks. You can get into your device, look at various settings. You can connect with the watch, activity reminders, drink water reminders, dial library. There's a lot of different dials in here. So you'll probably be able to find one you like. It's got a good selection there. Weather reports in raise to wake, that's the one I turn off because I don't want the screen to come on every time I lift my wrist. And then there's some personal goals you can set. You can spit the data out to Google Fit or Health Connect or We Run and get in some various settings here. Very bare bones. It took me the longest time to find my activity records, and that's this little logo on the top left here, this little running guy. It is hidden, very well hidden in plain sight. So if we go in, see what I'm doing here, press that tiny little symbol, and then you go into your activities, and there are the activities I've done. Here's a hike I did, 2.5 hours, total steps. That's just way off. There's no way I walked for 2.5 hours and only took 217 steps. So I'm disappointed with that. Average heart rate. And then here is a gym exercise I did. It basically gives you the amount of time engaged. This was strength training. The amount of time engaged in the activity, your average heart rate. your estimated kilocalorie burn, and you can go into the diagram here, and it gives you your amount of time spent in each of the heart rate zones. And that's it. That is it for the app. I'm very disappointed, but when tethered with the phone, and now we go back into the watch here, and we go back to that weather screen, now it's pulling in the forecast, but only when connected with the phone via Bluetooth. That's disappointing. It should save this in here until maybe the next day where it wipes it out, then you have to reconnect. But there's no reason for it to not store the weather data for over, say, a 24-hour period like many other watches do. So I think that's a big downfall of this watch. Let me give you my final thoughts here. So as mentioned, it's got the big, beautiful display. It's got the rugged military look, waterproof to 3 atmospheres of pressure, good sports modes. Hey, this is a basic smartwatch, folks. It's selling on AliExpress right now for $26.68. For that amount of money, if you want a Bluetooth calling watch on your wrist when tethered with your phone, I'd say it's a pretty solid value. It does not do any sort of advanced health tracking. As I mentioned already, it will only do your SpO2 manually. It does not do it automatically. So I would be cautious about this one. It's hard for me to recommend it and say it's great. Again, it is the Zeblaze Vibe 7 Pro. This channel is all about kayaking and fitness. That is what this channel is, but I review anything health and fitness related, and that's gotten me into the smartwatch reviews. And you can check out all my fitness tracker and smartwatch reviews on that playlist on my YouTube channel. Otherwise, if you're interested in the high-end performance and racing kayaks, or you have a friend or know an acquaintance who's into kayaking, let them know about this channel. Check me out at davethekayaker.com. I've got some new reviews coming up here in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned. And until next time, be healthy and stay fit.
When you want an extraordinary racing kayak made in the finest American tradition, or maybe just own a piece of American kayaking history, you want a West Side Boat Shop kayak, now available from davethekayaker.com. West Side Boat Shop kayaks. The tradition continues.